All right, it is 6 o'clock. It is time to call the Cedar Creek Township meeting to order. Oh, they moved it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You cannot move that flag on me.
I had to. It wasn't in the right position with the other flags. When it's with other flags, it's supposed to be in a certain position. There. Bob.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you. Heather.
Here.
Linda.
Here.
Chuck. Peggy. Anybody?
Where's Peggy?
I believe that is an unexcused absence tonight. We did not hear from her.
All right.
Okay. On this agenda, I would like to add, if I might, the purchase of a leaf blower and a weed whip
The discussion of the such, where are we putting that, new business?
under new business, if we
All right.
might. All right, could I have a motion to
I'll
approve
make a
the
motion.
agenda?
I'll support.
Okay. All right, any discussion or consideration of that? For further discussion on that? All right,
Yeah.
we'll approve the agenda with that addition then. All right, review of the minutes. The board members were emailed the minutes in advance, and they appeared on the website as well as, would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
Any discussion on the minutes?
I just had one thing. We have the motion to allow the purchase of the, we have the update on the emergency purchase of the assessor's computer, and then the motion to purchase the new computer for the treasurer's office. And I believe that motion included approving that emergency purchase, right? Was that
We didn't need approval
because
to
it was
buy
an
it because
emergency?
of the emergency,
Okay,
so.
I just wanted to make sure it
We
didn't
wanted to
need to-
update everybody and then approve the other.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We've had a motion and a second and questions, so could we have a-
All in favor?
all in favor? then?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Treasurer's report. Heather, please.
The April 1st, 2022 beginning general fund balance was $1,233,574.66. Revenues totaled $63,261.30. Expenditures totaled $27,632.19, leaving an ending balance of $1,269,203.77.
Does anyone have any questions for Heather regarding her report?
I do not.
All right, then, and you all received Heather's information about everything, the cash accounts and the general ledger, so, and you were able to call her if you had any questions. We will place Heather's report on file then. Thank you very much, Heather.
You're welcome.
Okay. Chuck, did you have any disbursements?
Yeah, I just did a double check with some of our vendors, and I made sure that all the new computers that we bought, because it kind of came, we got an invoice for 2 and I paid 1 and I paid the other, and I just made sure with our IT guy that we're all squared up, and I think we're really caught up. We did pretty well this last couple weeks, so I think we're good to go.
So everything's done now?
Yeah, well, there's always bills in the file, but we're definitely up. I do need to pay the election payroll yet that I haven't done, but I also just filed to be reimbursed for our election expenses. I did that today, so we'll be getting money back for what we spent for the election. So that's
Okay.
that's kind of a pass-through for us, but I filed that today. And so yeah, I think we're good to go. Just normal stuff, but just kind of making sure we're covering everything, so.
I think we still have, in terms of computers, we have maybe one more to go eventually.
Well, eventually there's, yeah, but,
I mean, it's a cycle.
It'll-
It's
yeah,
a cycle.
well,
Yeah.
It just goes on forever.
yeah, but we're really uptight right now, or tight now. He did come in and finish up some stuff today. As you can see, there's 3 towers there. That's the treasurer, the zoning, and the assessor right there. He is making sure that everything's cleaned up and where it needs to be before he takes those away from us. So I know we have a few little spotty things that we're still cleaning up. Did I hear you say he's coming in tomorrow, Lorraine? I think
Yes.
he's coming tomorrow morning to try to clean up some
I need him too.
some little things on the
I don't
transfers.
have my folder.
Uh-oh, I don't have one of my BSNA programs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but he'll
we
be in
may-
I didn't
tomorrow.
realize
Yeah.
it till.
Yeah,
We
we
may
knew that-
find little things like
Yeah.
that as we go through, but
Yes.
he's being pretty responsive
Yeah, he-
about.
Yeah, he emailed
Yeah.
me right back and he'll
So-
take care of it.
Okay, so yeah, but disbursements, I think we did real well this month. So.
Okay.
Correspondence.
We need to make a motion to approve the
Oh,
disbursements for
yes,
this month.
yes, yes.
So I'll make that
Sorry.
motion.
Thank you for catching that.
I'll support.
Any discussion on that?
That we didn't already have.
Okay, yeah, we did, yeah, because we
All in
kind of
favor?
jumped the gun. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Correspondence. Chuck?
Most of the correspondence I have had recently has been about the tower, and we updated that yesterday a little bit. I had some more today, and it's positive from Eric. He seemed to be open to communication. I haven't checked it this afternoon because I was running around like crazy, man. So, but I haven't heard from Muskegon River Watershed.
I have. That
Maybe- all
meeting
right, I'll
is
let you-
on. Yeah,
It's on?
it's off.
Oh, okay. I'll let you cover that.
Okay.
But other than that, no, just normal operational stuff, nothing fancy.
Okay. I did have one quick piece of, one email which affects today's business, and that's from Ken Holga. We are going to address roads this afternoon. Ken emailed me at 4 o'clock. He said, Linda, after reviewing that section of Dawson Road, we are not able to give you an estimate by today for your meeting. We will need to do more in-depth analysis on the depth of existing gravel, some surveying to make sure the road is where it belongs. And Bob was telling me that has to do with the berms on the road, and which means shifting one direction or the other. And also to try and figure out drainage, which involves engineering. So Paul Baumann is
Paul
involved in
Bowman,
this.
yeah. that
Yeah.
is-
So this is a pretty in-depth
That's
process
what I thought.
on this. So it's taking longer to get the estimate for Dawson Road than we had hoped. We were really hoping that we'd be able to come up with some figures yet for today. I can tell you that I have talked with Jeff Martin, and Jeff, who is the supervisor of Dalton Township, and Jeff is interested in this project, so.
And that is a shared road with
Yeah.
Dalton Township and Cedar Creek, so.
So this is something we are very much moving forward on. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It means that we are looking at it, we are considering it, and we are doing our due diligence on finding all the facts that we can, the figures, and the road commission is doing their investigation to see what it's going to take to make this happen. So we're moving forward. There's more to this email, but that involves Oak Road, which is another road that we're considering. And I will, when we approach that item, I will give you the figure on that one. So that's what I have for right now. Anyone else have any correspondence?
Good.
Okay, thank you. Public comment, agenda items only. Yes.
Can I just ask what the issue on Dawson Road is?
It's a drainage issue. It's, we've been following Dawson Road for probably 2 years now. And we've been talking with the citizens there. They have, buses and emergency vehicles travel that road. And it is a gravel road.
But we're talking about
North Dawson.
we're talking about paving that, though, right?
No, it
North
is
of 20.
It is a
Piece of
gravel
wire,
upgrade.
north
they're
of
looking
20.
at.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
little short piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha, okay.
but it's I
Water
swear
so
she just said it's.
Yeah, motocross track.
She just said it's a gravel upgrade, though.
Yeah,
So
they're
I thought we were
consi-
talking about paving it. But
No,
okay.
no.
All right.
The road commission told me today they are looking at a gravel
Gravel
upgrade of it.
How about Oakwood, that's an upgrade too?
Gravel
I had to
upgrade.
use it too.
Mhm.
That road's, wow, man, wow. A lot of traffic down that road too.
Yes.
But at least you have drainage there, where Dawson Road, you don't, you got berm this high on both
Yeah.
sides of the road. And over the years, the road commission don't know if it goes 3 feet that way or 3 feet this way, so
Okay.
they gotta make sure they do it right when they do it.
So, because it involves determining where people's property ends and begins too. So, and I didn't consider that actually in my thinking, so I'm glad Ken pointed that out.
Okay.
Which is why they're the road commission would be the experts in that.
Right.
I'm not the engineer.
Right.
So, any other public comments on this? All right, thank you. New business. We are addressing the draft, and this is draft ORV golf cart ordinance. This has been, pardon me, will you help me please? And Bill, it's been what, 2-3 years?
Paul was kind of put us in
Yeah.
the backseat.
Yeah,
We went down to church for a while, you know, we had a big
Yeah.
mess up here.
yeah.
We went down to church, then it come right to a stop.
Yeah. That we.
Well, then I got kind of set in the road commission's lap because they were kind of, we were hoping the county was gonna do it. I went down and talked to Poland, because he kind of wants, you know, for a deputy to pull someone over, every township's got different laws. It's hard for a deputy to think, what township are in, so
Yes.
everybody tried to keep kind of standard, what he's hoping to do. Of course, they didn't go county-wide, and it kind of comes to a stop, and
It literally did, the ordinance just shut down. COVID shut it down, and now Cedar Creek is in fact the holdout. We are sandwiched in between Holton, Dalton, Eggleston,
landlocked.
and Newaygo County. The entire Newaygo County has an ordinance. So the citizens, majority of the citizens came to Cedar Creek wanting, the board did not approach citizens. Citizens approached the board asking for some type of ordinance on golf carts and ORVs.
Would you
So-
think that 70% of the people out here have them?
I don't have a number. I would
I
be,
would think 60,
I would be
70%
making
have some
something
kind
up,
of
so.
A recreational vehicle, I would think out here, somebody, somewhere,
You see it.
well over half, I know that.
So, based on that, we really we formed a committee. That committee met for a number of months, looking at different options. Then it shut down. Based on that, based on the expertise, I would say, once the road commission got involved, things with the other townships, things began to roll. And now Lorraine has prepared draft ordinances for us based on all the other ordinances that are available in Muskegon County. And so the board has had an opportunity to review the golf cart ordinance and the ORV ordinance. These are draft ordinances. They are, we are not in a position to move forward on these because in order to do anything legal, it must go through the road commission. We have to have draft, they have to approve what we do. We also have to have letters, registered letters sent to all the surrounding townships. So that's a step that must be taken before anything can be considered legal. And there has to be also a public hearing. So the phase that we're in now is literally the board is considering the language that we consider appropriate. So first, this is just our initial phase.
And they have 3 roads closed down, right? Ryerson River and it curves here in Cedar.
No, we actually have more than that.
Yeah, I didn't
So,
see that.
And, yeah, so right now,
You
we're
mean-
just,
It's the last page in your ordinance. I
Right.
gave you a new copy. Well, I gave Linda new copies to distribute.
Oh, yeah. M120 Maple Island, Cedar Road to the Maple Island curve east of Brickyard. Cedar Road M120 Dawson to Ewing.
Hold on, guys, we're not there yet. Hey, Bob, hold on a second. We just gotta go through this legally. You gotta let her finish talking first.
so, I think the first
So we don't get
ordinance
messed up.
that we're going to consider is our golf cart ordinance. And, in reviewing the golf cart ordinance, I found that one to be very, very easy to breeze through. Quite frankly, in looking at our golf carts in Cedar Creek, and the golf carts in Cedar Creek, I am gonna, we have to be careful in talking, Bill, because this really is a board opportunity right now, but Bill knows, and Bill was a driving factor in this, and I am just going to say this. Bill recently was stopped and by the DNR, I believe, and you can get a ticket for $200 if you're stopped. As a township official, my goal would be to protect the people of the township who are probably already doing this. And I want to make sure that if all the other all the surrounding townships are doing this legally, let us make this, I would personally, I'm comfortable making, especially the golf cart ordinance, because most of the people in Cedar Creek are just driving on the gravel roads going to visit their neighbors, just down the road, and they can be stopped. They can get a $200 ticket. Well, to me, that feels wrong, but that is my personal opinion. So I want to make that very clear. I'm stating my personal opinion here. So I looked at this ordinance and I breezed right through it. Lorraine and I sat, we made a couple quick typographical corrections, and I think Heather did the same with Lorraine, and Chuck also did the same with Lorraine. So what we're looking at is a slightly amended golf cart ordinance that And none of us, to the best of my ability, or when we looked at this, had any serious issue with this golf cart ordinance in looking at it. There wasn't anything that jumped right out at us as being egregious. Did you, Chuck? on the
I got a
golf-
couple things I
Oh,
want to
you
talk
did?
about.
But I mean,
Nothing-
that was
no.
really
I'm not losing any sleep
sleep
over
on
it,
this one.
but I'd like, there's just a few
Oh,
things I'd like to talk
no,
about.
I don't, yeah, I'm not,
Just let me know when we're there.
yeah.
Do we
so-
need to make a
gotta
motion
wait.
before we start discussing
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
I should have done that, yes, you're right.
So I'd like to make a motion that we discuss, or we consider the golf cart ordinance.
Yes.
Prior to our next step, so I'll make that
I'll
motion.
support.
Perfect, yes.
Okay.
And I should have done that rather than just rambling on.
That's why I was trying to get
Yeah.
these guys to hold on a second so we can get there.
Everybody's
I just
outside.
did
I
a
got
chuck,
you.
I just
I
did a
got
chuck.
Thank you, Heather.
Mhm.
So you got a motion support. So
And
now
then.
now we can talk about it.
Now we can talk about it.
All
Forgive
right.
me for doing that.
No, that's fine. My first concern, I mean, the language on this, do they have copies of this at all?
No, but,
Okay, okay. And I'd be
Lorraine,
happy to,
would you mind making copies, please?
do you guys want copies of this?
I can, yeah.
Mr. Anderson? Dave? We can get them.
Show
for you
them the
real quick.
roads, yeah.
Well, at least the roads. I have a question about section 5, item 9, where it talks about studs added on tires and any other alterations to the golf cart are prohibited. Okay, so when you use a blanket statement like that, you can get somebody hung up if they lift it up a little bit, or they, you know.
That's
Well,
straight
but-
from the road commission.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's very vague, and vague is not a good thing when you have a deputy or a person, you know, and they don't agree. You know, it talks about studs added on tires, that's specific. But when it says any other alterations, that to me is, I added lights, or I added a mirror, that's an alteration, so.
Okay.
I just worry about things like that. My other concern is,
Which number were you on, Chuck?
section 5, item 9, right in the middle.
Okay.
It says studs added on tires and any other alterations. So,
Perhaps it should say something to the tires, alterations to the tires that impact the,
if that's what the intent is, then I would recommend that it be clarified a
Yeah.
little bit.
Can we get some clarification from the road commission?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
the-
could ask that
the road
question.
commission, Ken Hulka specifically said to us, studs to the tires.
Well, that's gonna eat up blacktop.
Yeah.
That's, they talked about how much these things didn't damage our roads, and part of that's because they don't let studs on tires, so.
Andy, do you remember that conversation?
So, and my other question is, the list of roads, okay? I know it's based on safety, speed, visibility, and safety. That's probably the driving force here, right? Being able to see a golf cart on the road, you know, in a safe distance to avoid it, you know, curves and hills and things like that. But I don't wanna, I feel like we're giving up too much roadway here. We're suggesting to Muskegon County, I doubt they're gonna come up and say, oh no, this road's okay. They're probably gonna say, well, we were just gonna do these 3, but we'll do them all since that's what you want. I don't wanna give up too much when I think that we don't need to. Like Cedar Road, Maple Island to the curves east of Brickyard, that's down by Dagan, right? It's a relatively slow piece of road, but that's just an example.
This is based on the road commission's discussion with us.
Well, I didn't have that discussion with
Okay.
them. So,
That's why these are on there.
okay, but I didn't have that discussion, and I'm the one that's looking at this and trying to decide. Maple Island to the curve east of, oh, that's the one I just said. Maple Island is a fast moving road. M120 is fast. River Road, I mean, there's some pieces of River Road that are pretty wide open. Do we not allow a golf cart on River Road, or, you know, if somebody's just making a little jog around from somewhere to somewhere else, you know, you were talking about going to their neighbors. in Ryerson and Dawson, I mean, those are big chunks of road. Did Dalton County give up Dawson Road on theirs? I don't know.
Be a good question to ask them.
It was my understanding that the road commission has the right to
They do.
refuse us these roads, so.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is if we say we don't want these,
Uh-huh.
then they're not gonna say, no, you gotta take it. My thing is this, I say we give up Maple Island and Holton Road and let them tell us what else we can't have.
I thought that's what this was. I
No.
thought these were the ones that they said.
They said,
This is what we're gonna give them as our draft, saying, what do you think of this?
Okay, I thought that they already,
they suggested Maple Island, Cedar Road, and it was because of the danger in
The
Cedar
curves,
Road
right.
with the curves. River Road, they may have said with River Road, it was okay to go at the top of River. Do you remember that?
I did
He
that, that was
said
our
Holton
first draft,
done
I
like-
did that draft.
Okay.
That was one I did originally. We stopped at the Big Hill, remember?
Uh-huh.
That's when we did our meetings. I stopped at. Another thing, on Cedar Road occurs, there's no other way to access down to Maple Island. You can't get there unless you go up to Ryerson's Clover, there's no other way to get through on Michelin.
What,
If you shut them curves off down here in
Yeah.
Cedar, how do you get through Maple Island Road?
well, you can't ride on Maple Island Road, so,
You can't shoulder in Merrill County, it's not an M road. The only ones you can't ride on M roads in the state of Michigan.
You can't ride Maple Island.
New York County, it's
You can cross it, but you can't ride it.
You can on New York County side.
Yes.
Linda, when we had the conversation with Ken Halka, he named all the roads on the list. I added Dawson, just because
Okay,
I was trying to think if there was any other one. Not because I think personally it should be on there, it's for discussion.
okay.
But all these other ones that are listed on my notes from
Okay.
our conversation were from Ken Halka.
Yeah,
okay? Well, I mean, I hope you understand what I'm saying is, instead of just saying, we give up these 7
So
roads.
Dawson Road could be,
Let's give up.
because
2
Dalton
and see what they
Township
add.
may already have it in theirs, so
Okay,
we
yeah.
should follow suit with whatever
If
Dalton
Dal-
Township.
if Dalton already gave up Dawson, if they already took it from Dalton, then we're not gonna get it anyhow. I'm fine with that, but.
Well, if they already have it.
If they have it,
But that's
then that
what-
would be really stupid if we gave it up, or not stupid, sorry. It wouldn't be a proper.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a question for Linda with Jeff.
yeah. I will ask Jeff when I have a conversation with him about Dawson Road. But the rest, thank you for clarifying about River Road, I appreciate that. I remember the discussion with Ken Halka. The problem with River Road is it's treacherous with, people don't pay attention to which has always been my major complaint. River Road, the double yellow line here is just a suggestion on River Road. And, you're fine.
Sorry, can I-
No, you're fine.
This is Dalton's
Okay.
prohibited roads.
River Road entire length, Russell Road entire length, Riley Thompson entire length, Whitehall Road entire length, White Lake Drive entire length, M120 Holton Road entire length, US 31 entire length.
But not
So
Dawson.
Dawson's not on there,
not
so we
Dawson.
should ask
Yeah,
to have Dawson
I'm scratching
be
it off.
part of it too.
you can scratch it off.
I'm scratching that one. I mean, if we're, hang on one second, Bill, all right? My thing is, if we're gonna do this, my concern with Cedar, and I use Cedar, but one of the things I'm sure they're looking at is there any place for that golf cart to go in emergency? You know, like a shoulder to go off of or something like that. And the S-curve is down by you, it's hill up one side and guardrail on the other. So that might be part of what they're thinking, is that there's no escape route, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that might come into play in some of these roads. So, but I would love to have somebody, you know, tell me that and, you know, explain to me why you're redlining this when, you know, we're blocking people off. Because if that road's blocked off, you can't go anywhere. Well, you can go to Tyler Road, but you know what I'm saying. You couldn't jump in and ride to work.
Right.
And geez, that'd be nice. you know, instead of driving that Tahoe, you could drive that little golf cart that Jason's gonna buy. So.
But I have seen them running the shoulder on Maple Island,
You
on
can't-
the other side.
I got
That's
the
illegal.
Nuevo County rules.
That's illegal.
The one thing you can't ride in Nuevo County is 37, M82, M20, M120. All the M roads are shut down in the state of Michigan. You can't ride any. You can ride Maple Island. That's not an M road no more.
It's prohibited in Egleston.
I believe that's one that the road commission has a right to refuse a certain percentage. And he said right off the bat, Maple
Yeah.
Island is a no-go, like the road commission is just gonna say.
Like he's not gonna
Bolton
say
got
yes.
shut off too at Marvin.
Yeah.
Marvin down to 220 on Maple Island. They can't ride that no more.
But if they can shut off a certain percentage, by them automatically shutting off Maple Island, that eats up some of the percentage. They're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
wanna
our
shut down on ours,
border.
right?
Up to 30%.
So all of a sudden, that's 8 miles or whatever of our roads that they've shut down. So now they can only shut down 22 more, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they're gonna eat it up with that and M120 and some others, I mean, Bill, I know you like to ride, and you do, and I do too. And there's a lot of people that do, but my thing is if we're gonna do this, the worst thing we can do is have all these closed roads, you know?
That's why I was trying to, your case I was telling you about was down by your house and the curves. I was talking about that road that went up by Beans, that's not a road no more, so you got no access down to Maple Island. You got nowhere to get here, you can't ride yours here
Mhm.
because of that, you know? And that's the only road I was worried about, was that one, the other one you can access around, you know? I got a question, what makes a golf cart different than an ORV? When's a golf cart, if it's an off-the-road vehicle? I've never seen a golf cart legal on a road, the same as an ORV is. It's an off-the-road vehicle, it's not used on the road.
Some of them are separating them by the definition of the off-road vehicle and the golf cart. Golf carts are unmodified, if I'm correct.
Some
And
are, some
from
ain't.
what I read on here, and the other one is, it's defined by 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4 wheels, and it goes through a definition.
I got that from the state, I got it from the state of Michigan, but I don't know where a golf cart, I know some kind of golf cart deal on there, but what makes a golf cart different than an ORV? They're all off-road vehicles, they have non-dot tires on them. No way you can get them street, you gotta put dot tires on them. And a windshield, dot windshield, they're an off-road vehicle, they're used on a golf course.
But it says that on here, for use on a golf course.
Yeah.
It says,
And-
a manufactured designed for operation on a golf course.
That's why I don't know why you gotta have two, why do you have two ordinances, once you put it all in one, that's all I need, why do you need two?
Because, well, one, you're operating at a lesser speed.
All 25 state of Michigan, every county in state of Michigan is 25, every county. I just showed Bob, I got a state of Michigan printout right here. Every county is 25 mile an hour.
Hmm.
Every
Can you
one.
get Linda a copy of that?
Yeah, this is a map of the state of Michigan, and every county is 25 mile an hour. That's all PD drive on.
This golf cart one says 30 on this.
I know,
It does.
30.
I got golf carts go 60, because I'm modified. I get Yamaha motors, I mean.
But that's probably gonna fail under the
They won't.
modification on
Yeah.
on section 5, step 9.
Who's gonna inspect them? You guys? You guys like that? Come on.
Wait till you see, there's another part of this I
Yeah.
don't like. It's not on the golf cart one, but,
In the ORV, there's a.
no, don't go there.
Yeah, we're not
Don't go
there,
there.
but this is not, I mean, this golf cart is, there are two sections of people, which is why we truly did this. Because there are people who have golf carts and there are people who have ORVs.
Yes, I don't see the difference, okay. All right,
But you don't have to.
no, they're both off-the-road vehicles.
So, okay.
I understand. Some people just think that government less means, less is more, right?
I just thought one
I
ordinance,
get it.
everything would be easier for
I get it.
everybody
Okay.
else to figure out. So-
I get it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
There was,
Can I have my ordinance back?
yeah, oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
we're clearly going to have more work done on this. This is just, as I mentioned earlier, this is discussion phase.
Mhm.
We are not all in agreement on this.
Okay.
I think it is primarily the issue of the roads that is anyone uncomfortable?
Well,
Chuck,
Ken
there was that
give
one.
us like some clarification that, like, would he give you a list, like, these are the definite no's, absolutely, so we can have an idea of whether we're looking at.
Ken will meet with us.
Okay,
That's
Yeah.
basically what he did.
We can have a work
Okay.
session with Ken.
that's what I,
And also, there's that point that on
5-9.
number 9 that
5-9.
we need clarification on, but is there any other point in this that anyone is
I
sticking?
had a question about section 5, item 2, where golf carts may cross a road with a posted speed limit greater than 30 miles per hour. However, once the segment of road has been crossed, the golf cart is still required to only travel on or along a roadway with a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less. So, the golf carts can only be on roads that have a speed limit of 30 or less? Well, that excludes a lot of roads.
Mm.
About everything.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
I mean, even the small little dirt roads, like the road I live on, there's no posted speed limit, that means it's 55, so does that mean the golf carts aren't?
The way it's reading is that you may cross a road that's going more than 30 miles. per
Right,
hour.
but you may
Yeah,
not
cross.
ride along it.
That's
That
correct.
was my,
You interpreted that correctly.
But then
That-
afterwards, there's a comma, however, once the segment has been crossed, the golf cart is still required to only travel on or along a roadway with a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less. What I'm wondering is if it's the roadway with the speed limit or the golf cart has a speed
in
limit.
number 7, it says, in no instances shall a golf cart be operated at a speed greater than 15 miles per hour. So that, I
negates
take
the
that
other.
as meaning
That the
speed-
road
the
can only have
road, if the
30
speed
miles.
limit is more than 30, you can't be on it. So where are we gonna be allowing golf carts?
Nowhere. Forget the road list on the back, that's,
Yeah, that,
yeah, that's not good. Okay, well, that's
I-
not the way I originally read it, and thank you, Heather,
No,
for bringing it
I
up.
believe that,
To me, those are questions that we need to dig into and get answers for.
that seems like it would be a rule somewhere where there are a lot of subdivisions, you know, where the speed limit is slow because it's a subdivision.
Eggleston Township or something like
Right,
that.
yeah, but
Some of
we
them.
don't have that here in Cedar Creek.
Mm-mm.
We have a lot of rural,
Clear Lake.
you know, yeah,
You know,
yeah, Clear Lake is about it, and I don't know if there's posted speed limits down there, I've
I
never
think it's
paid
like
attention.
15 or something.
Yeah.
oh, I was, yeah.
So can we, what do you want to do with this? You just want to get more information?
I think we get more information on,
Move to table this and,
We need to set a time of getting this done.
no, what I'm saying is I want to,
I think.
I know
that-
spring is here and.
You know.
I think I will talk to Ken.
Okay.
I'll talk to Ken and refine this a little bit.
Mhm.
And I can they can give me speed limits on some of the roads.
Yeah, and get a copy of that list that Bill's got too.
Lorraine?
Tells you the whole state.
The copies of the other ordinances I looked at, like Eggleston and Dalton, they have a speed limit of 15.
So do we.
Sullivan,
Yeah,
one of them had 30, two of them had 15. So like she said, this is a draft, I just.
yeah.
Right. It's number 2 that's really sticking us 5-2.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's the one, I mean,
Is there a reason why we would have to exclude roads?
that are 55s, you mean?
Right, is there a reason for that? I
Well,
mean,
we can look right here, Old Duck Lake Road, and we're saying you can ride on it, but then that says you can't. Because the speed limit's greater than 30, you can't ride on that road.
yeah.
So it's just, It's not good. The language isn't good on this at that point, so let's get some clarification. Bob, I'm with you though. I'd like to see answers before the next meeting, so can we?
Try to get this thing done.
Yeah,
I will
this
talk
is
to-
summertime, I like
yeah,
to.
I will talk to Ken and get some clarification. I will, I think that our goal is to have a work session on this so that we can move forward.
Yeah, and
Okay,
if you have to have 2 or 3, let's get it done.
Why can't we have the ordinance just OB and golf cart and duplicate one of the other townships?
We-
Why have to go through and look for another way of writing this when it's already been adopted by another township?
this came about 90% from other townships.
Yep.
But what we did is we looked at the other townships, brought them in together, and, I mean, literally, we had to cross out of Dalton today and
They're
put in
very
a Cedar
similar.
Creek, so. It's a good idea, why reinvent the wheel? And we're trying to do it consistent with other townships around us. We don't want the sheriff's deputies and stuff to go, oops, rules change, I crossed the road. So we are trying to do that, so. But there are a couple pieces that are specific to Cedar Creek that we need to iron out, I think. I don't think it should take that many meetings, but I'd like to get it going. I mean, this is prime time right here. We're getting ready to ride, you know?
Once we have the language down, it should move swiftly.
I'd be open to a work session and then potentially, we have to have a public hearing on it, right?
That's correct.
So I'd be open to moving and making sure that our public gets a chance to speak. I'd like to hear whether it's for or against it, so. And that will be, the public hearing will have to be put in the paper, so, for those of you that are wondering. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm correct. All right, so I make a motion that we, can I do that now?
Yes.
Make a motion that we table this, schedule a work session, and get some answers for a couple of these questions.
Sport.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're assuming that we're gonna have the same questions for the oral.
So what are you gonna do, Chuck? You're gonna put another meeting?
We're gonna have a
We're
work
gonna schedule a work
session.
session, and, which is just where we're gonna hash it out some more,
For the
and,
public or if you guys?
yeah, well.
They're all open
They're all
meetings.
open. Please come. I'll make sure it's, promise I won't give you an 18-hour notice on it. It won't be in the paper. We will put it on the website and Facebook as much as we can, thanks to our guy, and we'll try to get it out there. Do we know when we can do
I
this?
put
Should we-
I put the calendar here on my desk.
Can we put something together so we can let people know? That'll be on the tape? That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, for a work session, we probably don't need that, so.
We need those answers to do.
Well, I'm gonna call him in advance.
I hear you. But yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't have
'cause
to be
he's
tomorrow.
up north for the rest of the week.
What's that?
Ken's up north for the rest of the week.
You know where he is?
Travis City.
Let's go get him.
We got a Milmac conference going on.
Road trip.
Well, he probably must.
I'm looking for my
today.
calendar. Hold on, guys.
That's
I'm-
what he
I'm
normally
ready.
does.
Okay.
Are we talking like next week?
I'm gonna get my phone. I should,
With your calendar?
yeah.
Hurry up. Ooh, let's get this thing done.
Let's do it Sunday.
Do you think Ken would come to our work session?
He's not gonna come to a work session after dinner time, I can guarantee you that.
Hey,
Oh.
but
Do you think he
Ken?
would?
Who wouldn't?
he's come to township meetings.
Yeah, Ken comes to township
Okay,
meetings.
all right. So he'd come after dinner?
So
Yeah.
should we invite him to our work session?
Yeah, but I can't guarantee that he'll come. I mean, because we don't have Ken's schedule, so.
Right. thinking the 18th. What do you think? I got an opening. Wednesday, the 18th?
I'm good on the 18th.
Anybody else?
It depends on the time. But I'll do what I can. The kids have dentist appointments on the 18th.
Well, so later.
Sure.
I'm available anytime. I don't
Okay.
care. On the 18th, I got wide open. That's why I picked that one.
Okay.
Can you do it on the 18th?
Yeah? What time you want to go?
Whatever works for you guys.
Okay, right now we're looking at the 18th. Do you want to try 6 o'clock?
I'm
What day
good.
is that?
It's a Wednesday?
Wednesday, the 18th, at 6
This
o'clock?
month?
This month, yes, sir.
Sooner the better, man.
That's, I just don't want to let it drag. I'm,
That's right.
We are all of the same mindset that we want this to move. We do not want this to sit. We want this to move forward. That has been our goal all along, so we will try and I will call Ken, I will email Ken to let him know the outcome of this. He'll receive, and I'll talk to Amy in his office.
table to
So-
18, right? 18 May, 1800.
And even if Ken is not available,
You might have answers.
that night, we should be able to do something and have a work session without Ken. So we'll plan on having that work session
Okay,
at 6 o'clock PM.
all in favor?
All right.
Alright.
Aye. Bob?
Aye.
Aye. Linda, aye?
Yes?
All right. Unanimous. Good job.
All right.
Can I make a motion on the golf cart?
Well, that was all one and the same.
That's what
so,
I was gonna make a
yeah.
motion. We put
Yeah.
them together and do it all at once.
Yeah.
All right, so be it.
Same deal.
All right. All right, we're moving to unfinished business to road discussion.
Huh? Nope. Purchase of blower weed whip.
Oh, I forgot, we did put that in.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
did. You're welcome.
Ron, could I have your attention on this?
You got his attention.
Ron was kind enough to do a little research for us on purchase of a blower for the township hall. Ron has been using his own equipment for the leaf blower and the weed whip. So he looked in 2 different locations for a leaf blower and the weed whip. And you looked at Craig's Hardware and what was the other location?
J&J.
J&J, which gives us a municipal discount, which, given the cost of the blower, is like a 15% discount. So the cost is approximately,
The weed whip, looking at the battery operated weed whip, looking at about, it's $169, $170 for the weed whip. And that includes the battery, but you can step up in batteries for $30 for each step up. And get a bigger and bigger battery, which might be good for around here. But it comes with a charger and a battery for $170. And the blower, J&J didn't have one, the size we're looking for, and they're real iffy on, they don't have any idea when they're coming in. They just order them. They're getting stuff they ordered last November. And that kind of a situation.
If you can get them in or what?
Yeah, get your name right on it. You'll find it. Craig's had one Echo blower they have in stock. It's about 4 pounds heavier than the steel, but it's quite a bit
Stronger.
stronger. So So they have those in stock and they're $629 for the blower.
So,
What do you recommend? The Echo, because we can get it.
That's the only one you can get.
Right.
I told Linda I'd sell you mine and I'd take the Echo if you didn't want it. Because it's 4 pounds heavier.
Buy the bigger battery. I'm telling you, buy the bigger battery.
Oh, for the weed whip? Yeah.
I've been down that
What's-
road, I got one. Buy
What's the
bigger
brand,
battery now.
excuse me, what's the brand name on the weed whip?
Steel.
Steel.
Oh, Steel?
I have a Steel.
Did you go to
my weed
Nuevo
whip.
Steel, or where'd you go? J&J?
Craig's and J&J.
Where's J&J? Is that the one up in
Old Road.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They stock steel and us
My guy up in Hesperia went out of business. He retired.
Wow. I have a Steel, which I like.
No, he was, anyhow, he did my chainsaw stuff, but okay.
So-
I agree with
So-
the battery thing, though.
How, I wanna make a motion to approve the purchase up to a certain amount. What is the amount that we would be going up from the 170 in order to get that bigger battery?
Well, you could have 2 steps. Each step is $30.
So about 230 for the biggest one.
But the bigger one is another $60 on that,
Okay.
170.
Do
So
you know
we're
how much
better
a
off
battery
going with
is?
the-
If you want a bigger
But I
battery.
don't. To buy a second battery?
Right.
I didn't ask that question.
Okay.
So, okay, so that's,
It'd be more than $30, but
Oh, they're running, yeah, no. That's something we could do later, I know, but I just,
yeah, you can do that anytime.
I do the Ryobi 18 volt plus, but these are 40 volt, right?
I didn't even ask the board,
Okay.
I've left the pamphlets here, the pamphlets are from Linda's.
They're on
desk.
my desk, so.
Okay, well, I think we're, to answer your question, you're probably looking at 230 to get the best battery.
okay, so that's 860 plus, oh no, we don't pay tax. I was gonna say plus tax, so,
Let's do it.
So,
We need it.
the only thing I'm worried about is the weight on that blower. You know, who's gonna, how much that thing
I
weigh?
got the biggest one Husqvarna makes, and it's
26 and a
heavy,
half
but
pounds for the.
you need that for the exercise,
Yes.
you know.
And it's 23
Jason would tell
pounds
you
for the
that.
steel.
Okay.
Like I said, the
No.
Echo was more.
I just wanna make sure it wasn't 45. Okay.
But, you know, like, you got this, I don't know how strong this kid is that's gonna be doing the mowing now, Austin.
Maybe.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Football player.
in good shape, awesome good shape.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a leaf blower and weed whip.
I'll support.
Not to exceed $900. Does that sound good? That's
Those
eight.
two we just mentioned fall in that range.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you find a good sale or a better deal, then that's a bonus.
I think you'll stay under that 900.
Yeah.
You're getting a 15% discount.
Well, we won't at Craig's if they don't have it at Craig's, or at J&J, he said. We don't get the 15% at J&J, is that correct, Ron? Did I hear you, right?
Yeah, J&J offers that, I don't know why Craig's doesn't, I can question all of it, right now, it doesn't offer discounts from municipality
are those prices with the discount or without?
without.
Okay, all right.
So we can get the steel weed whip
You
at
get the weed whip at J&J.
J, so we'll get that at J&J, but we cannot get a blower, which is what we really need. We're drowning in leaves here.
You need the blower right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. So we've got a motion and a second. You did the
Yeah.
second, Bob?
So
Okay.
for 900?
Yep. Any further discussion?
I'm good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Appreciate
you.
your assistance on that. Thank you for researching that for
I
us.
didn't have to-
Normally, we require 3, but this is not, supply chain is 3 quotes on stuff. Supply chain has really been an issue on this sort of thing, so Ron went out looking for this stuff, and as you can see right now, it's really difficult to even find this kind of thing right now, so.
I've been a year and 6 months to get my brand new jet, my boat. I wanted to use one last month. And actually told me 24 more weeks maybe.
Yeah, so, thank you, I appreciate your help on that, Ron. So, okay, road discussion. As you heard, we don't have the information we need for Dawson, so we will table the Dawson road discussion right now. That does not mean we're going to neglect that discussion. We're just going to wait until we have the information that we need to move forward with it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And that is the Ryerson to Holton, right? Dawson Road from Ryerson to
It
Holton.
runs along
Along.
our
Yeah.
west border there.
Can you see the gray
River.
line right there?
North
Right on the
120.
pink?
About a quarter mile, ain't long.
Oh, Dawson, I'm sorry.
Wow,
Yeah,
about a
yeah,
quarter
yeah,
mile long,
yeah.
8, somewhere.
Yeah, Duff, it goes to Duff Road, then
Right there.
still Cedar Creek
Yeah,
after
and-
that,
and
but it
even
turns
farther
into
north,
like a two
on the
track.
other
Where's Cedar Creek again?
On the other
20 or
side of
across 20?
M120 is.
Cross
where it
20.
runs
Oh, it
in.
goes across 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that section. Yep.
How far down on Duff, towards Duff? Over the tracks and,
Up here.
Well, it goes up past,
That way, huh?
and I don't know what name of that road, Bittersweet to the
Oh, there's
right.
Stuff there, it goes up to
I
there.
didn't realize it went across, I didn't know it went across 20.
Yeah, and it goes off to the right.
Okay, if we could hold discussion, please.
Old Dawson.
Okay.
If we could hold discussion. The other road that is brought up has been brought up on a number of occasions is Oak Road. And this is for a gravel upgrade and narrow the road. And Ken Halka has given me the quote of $6,100. The road commission would contribute 50% of that cost. And we're looking at Oak Road right here. And in our PACER report, and this is what I'm looking at. If you can see this, the latest map that I have, and this is the one Ken gave us from last year when we were looking at our the roads that we did for Tyler and Brickyard. This is from 2013 and 2014 road survey, and Windsor Dick did this. Oak Road is considered, it's in the 1 to 4 category, and it needs structural improvements. So, now I understand Chuck went out and he looked at the road, and it's not bad to drive depending on when you drive the road.
Down there.
It's had some,
There are
the
no
road has had some
orders,
issues
so-
in terms of semis parking on the road. We've had complaints with that. So Lorena's been addressing that through zoning issues. That's created some havoc there. It's been a lot, there's been a lot of rain. I also posted on Facebook what happens. The road commission typically does not grade the roads during the rainy season. They can't. It does damage to the roads during the rain. And so they wait until the road dries out before they start grading the roads.
Well, they like it a little moist.
But not
Not
torrential
puddles,
downpour.
no.
Yeah.
But they have went out and done them, and guys, the new guys will go keep, hey, you gotta pull them off. You gotta get on the radio and say, hey,
Now's
get
not the
back to
time,
ground.
yeah.
Are they grading now, Buck?
Yeah.
Boy, that'd go down sweeter, that baby, the rough shape and curves.
Oh,
Really bad.
okay, Bill, please. You have to learn, board meeting 101, please, Bill.
Sounds
So.
like Chuck back there.
So, I
Right.
want, with that, we now know what it will cost to do Oak Road, $6,100.
Actually, half of that, right?
Half of that,
No.
that would be our
For
cost is
$3,000.
half of that, 50%.
$3,000, 30, 50.
So, I don't think we can move forward with anything. Could I guess I need a motion to discuss this.
I would-
Motion,
Second.
Okay,
Oh, that was-
we're in discussion.
all right. My thought is, since we have the figure for one road, that does anyone feel like we're in a position to do 2 roads this year?
Well, at that cost, I think
Yeah,
so.
that's,
Yeah.
that's
I
a
definitely.
lot
do.
less than I was expecting to hear.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
expecting a 5-digit number at least. Linda said that I drove the road, and I'd never driven down Oak Road before. So yesterday I drove down because I know Linda had gotten some complaints. And also, we talked to Ken Dodge from Dodge Your Dogs, and he lives off that road, off the Cedar Hills, whatever it is. Let me get it right, Cedar Hills Court. And I talked to him, so I took a drive down it, and I have a, heavy suspension truck, and I was actually pretty impressed. For a dirt road, it was pretty good. I don't know if they've hit it lately.
Probably just scraped
They
it
probably just
lately.
scraped it, but I can also see where some of the complaints are about the speeds going down there, that, people use it for a thoroughfare. And I get that, but it is a public road, so I think it would be, and I didn't know what to expect, but it was a dirt road. I would like to see the gravel in it to help stabilize it. I think that would help, but that's all going to be nasty if it gets wet
Well,
and they
being
push it.
$6,100, it can't be
A lot, right?
a lot, no.
So they're just going to
It's-
stabilize
I just wonder
it.
if it's just that where you take a right off a river.
It
I
dips
just wonder
down.
if it's just in
It
that
sounds like
bottom
up to Cedar
area
Hill Court,
and-
up to Cedar Hill Court, that first section.
Yeah,
That would be my question, but, which is, according to this, 0.14 miles, it's pretty small, but the overall is 0.785 miles, but it's only 3/4 of a mile, the whole thing. But if the quote is for all of Oak Road, then
well, I think it's not for all of it, because I think it'd be a lot more money involved. I think they're talking just about that dip.
that 0.13.
Well, that's where your washouts happen. If it rains out, it washes them shoulders and all that
Okay.
out and stuff like that. And they'll bring motor grader in there and try to push it up and do what they can, but you always lose some, so.
Have we, Lorraine, gotten any word on the status of the semis?
The person parking the semi has not contacted me, but I told the neighbors if the semi is there, if they continue, to call 911. It's
Okay.
a police ordinance,
Okay,
regulatory ordinance.
all right,
Why
okay.
can't you, what's the deal with semi?
You
ain't
can't
got parks
park
there?
a
Got
semi
parks.
on a public road. They're parking on the road,
Oh, okay, tractor, okay. And she's sitting down there.
yeah.
To me, it sounds like we have an unanswered question, but is that amount of money sufficient to even help stabilize that
Oh, yeah.
lower part? I mean, would that be a good thing to do? Are we addressing an issue that needs to be addressed? And I mean, the $3,000 is, it's $3,000, but if it stabilizes a chunk of road that washes out regularly and stuff, I still think it's worth doing.
Well, it could be spots too. It could be this spot needs work and then down the road a little ways.
It was
If it broke
pretty
through
nice
some
little
hard
dirt
pan or
road.
whatever,
It was
but
definitely a dirt road, but it was not. I was surprised. I
Yeah,
expected
that's-
much worse.
I was
So I think they
surprised
must
that
have
come
graded
up
it.
with all the complaints, and I'm thinking, well, it does get pretty bumpy
Washboardy.
if it's not scraped, after a rain and
Yeah,
stuff.
they must have
so.
scraped it. Since I didn't get bounced out of my truck, and I expected it. So
So, you know, the cost for us is $3,500, so.
No, $3,050. So even less.
Where are you getting $3,000?
You said it was 6,100, and our 50% share would be 3,050.
Is the
60,
road-
I said, I'm sorry, 61,000. My
What?
bad, 61,000.
Linda.
I did say 6,100, 61,000.
That's
I
a-
looked at that.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
Well, then that
My
is the
bad.
whole road.
That's
Yeah,
the whole
it is the
road.
whole
That's
That
bad.
is
more
the
what I
whole
was
I'm
road.
going, where are
expecting.
you
The
getting
6,100 would be the
6,100?
whole road.
Or is this 31, I'm going, where do you get that figure? 61,000.
Okay, that makes it.
My bad.
That's why
Okay.
you're not in charge of the numbers.
Yeah, that's why I'm not, 61,000. I'm looking at you, where are you getting $3,500?
Well, that's why I was saying it could
Yeah.
only be
Yeah.
a little stretch that you'd be doing.
I'm looking at that number and I'm going,
I
how
got
do
you,
you get
brother.
$3,500 out of
I
that?
need something to throw. All right, so now we're talking $30,000 for the
Yeah.
whole road.
30,000.
That's the whole road.
Gravel at that
35.
price.
Yeah, that's gravel in the whole road.
Yeah,
That's the whole road.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna bend a little bit here and say, I'm not familiar enough with the roads to know if that's a
Well,
really good
what I
deal or
wanna
not.
do is call
think it-
Ken and
Yeah.
find out, are we talking about narrowing the road again? Is that berming, just like you talked with?
No, they're just gonna do a gravel upgrade with this.
But he says narrowing the road.
Well, they won't spread gravel as wide as it currently is, right?
What does narrowing the road
Well,
mean?
well, if the road's narrowing, which I think that's in that bottom part, they'll put that back out to what the standards are and the width of the road, 20 feet, or probably 22 or 23 feet, I would imagine, in that section.
So has it over time,
Gotten wider.
it's just gotten wider because of the,
Oh, yeah. Traffic. You know, if you don't have a ditch in there,
That's what I was gonna say, would they ditch
then,
it?
you know, and people start going around, you know, if there's a big water hole or something, people will expand that out. And
Okay.
Brickyard up north off of Blue Lake Road, that's a prime example. That, you could land an airplane up there on that road,
okay.
Okay.
but
So again, this is, this is an engineering issue, this is why they have to come
well,
in
they're
and
gonna do
figure
it,
out.
they're gonna do it up to standards and, but I've always thought that road was in good shape with gravel, except for down there where it broke out the hard pan and, you know, there's some washouts there that they've been fixing and,
Well, that's what when this says structural improvements needed, that has to be, that's gotta be hard pan issues and.
right,
Okay,
you know, heavy truck, garbage truck, stuff like that, turning in out of that subdivision that's back in there.
Cedar Hills.
They're heavy, they break through that hard pan, so that's probably where a lot of your work, but I think it's gonna be a whole road for that kind of money, 61,000.
yeah,
And I've seen a lot of the
apologize for that,
quotes
Heather,
yeah.
how much do we have in the budget?
over the
for
last 19 years.
Apple Rose,
I'd have to go pull it.
don't we put
I
100K
want-
in or something?
Oh, I wanna
120?
say it was more than that. Let me go pull it,
Do
so
we
we'll
Yeah.
want, do we
know
wanna
for sure
know?
what we're looking at.
The other thing
I thought it
that
was
that
250.
occurred to me
Oh.
in this whole thing, and Chuck, you and I talked just briefly about because the gentleman that called me was irate about the speed through there. People using this and Bill, you mentioned that you even use this as a pass-through. People use it to go from, to circumvent apparently it shaves off time to go to River Road,
To Ewing.
to Ewing,
Ewing.
and then you skip around and
That
you go
road's
to
pretty
River
busy.
Road.
That's a busy little road. That's a shortcut for great country cross, be surprised. People cut.
For years, yeah.
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah.
consider going that way because I don't wanna
Dirt
pit
road and
my,
get your car dirty.
yeah, I don't wanna pit my car up either.
Right.
But people are using that to pass through, and he said, and they're flying down that road.
It's a public road, it's,
I know,
We're gonna pay money, I hope they use it.
but I know, but but he said they're flying down. But is there a way to slow the traffic down in any way?
That's a regulation issue there. I mean, I don't
Road
think-
commission probably wouldn't do nothing.
They would not, that's what I'm
Not
asking.
Put
There's
speed
no,
bumps in for you and nothing.
You know, they'll throw that right at the township every time.
Right.
okay. There's nothing that the road commission can
It's
do?
actually 55 mile an hour. You know, there's no speed limit
There's
signs
no
on
more
that.
signs on 55.
It's 55. There's no speed limit signs.
It's marked.
50.
If it's,
55,
yeah.
and can the township do something to slow the traffic down?
Stop
That'd be a
signs.
question for Kanoka.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
sure they can, but,
Yeah, we budgeted 250,000 for roads.
I make a motion, we move forward with the Oak Road.
Okay, I am going to ask Ken though, when I talk to Ken about about the ORV, I am going to ask Ken about the speed on Oak Road. If there's anything the township can do about that, assuming that the road commission can in fact not do anything. So just to follow up. And Heather, you said
We budgeted 250,000 for roads this year.
okay. And Chuck, you just made a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with the Oak Road improvement.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I will let Ken know.
Did you add your other zero?
Yeah. I apologize.
No, no big.
And there's a reason I'm not the treasurer. Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda is trustee foster residency next steps. And Chuck, you're up on this one.
This is primarily an update for everybody. I heard from the lawyer, and his big question was, what do we want to do next? I think we've reported the Attorney General, as expected, refused to take up the investigation of the case. They want to let local do local, and our lawyer expected this, Mr. Leishman expected this, and the next step would be for us to go to circuit court, district court, circuit court to ask them to rule on this situation. My position is that legally it appears like Ms. Foster, Trustee Foster, is not maintaining a residence in Cedar Creek, and that is in violation of the requirements to be a trustee on this board. So I would like to authorize the lawyer to move forward with the next step to ascertain this. We have a statutory obligation to maintain a legal board, and if we don't do that, then anything we do here could be ruled illegal, null and void, and everything that we're doing could be undone because we had an illegal board. So to answer the question, hold on a second, Bob. If the questions were answered, I wouldn't have as much energy to do this, but there's unanswered questions that we're refusing to get answers for. She's refusing to provide answers for, and so I would like to move forward with taking this to the circuit court. So,
What proof does Township have that she does not live there?
2 legal documents signed by her.
Okay, but she does have one in her divorce decree that says she can live there through her remainder of her term.
No, she owns it. She doesn't live there. It doesn't say she lives there. She owns
Oh,
it.
I'm just
No, I know.
saying,
She
for
owns it.
liability issues for our township, I mean, if we take this any further, we better know what we're doing because we could be in trouble.
That's why our lawyer's is advising us on it. But the one document raises a question. The second document, signed by her, states that she resides at 24 Wolf Lake Road. That was 2 weeks after the divorce decree. They brought up the question. So you have a divorce decree with a question, and then a signed document by her saying that she lives at 24 Wolf Lake Road. I don't know how else to interpret it in the absence of her explaining what is going on.
To me, I get it. I have not talked to her about it because I think this puts us in a bad spot. And, you know, I know she went through a pretty bad divorce and stuff like that and all this coming up, but I kind of feel for her. But she come out and told me that she, you know, she lives at both places. And she says she's allowed to live at both places, but that was before. Now, I haven't even talked to her. I've stayed right away from that because I truly don't believe it's none of my business. Now, as a township official, it is my business, but personally it's not. So I kind of stayed away as much as possible, hoping maybe she'd come and say something to me, and she has not. So
I understand, I agree.
And it's kind of scary, the liability part, and that's what I look at.
Well, we're justified in our action by law. I mean, the law says we should do this. So, and we're actually supposed to do this. So I think we're liable either way. If we don't do it, we're liable to the citizens of the township for not doing it.
Yeah.
If we do it and we upset somebody, then, you know, somebody could get mad and sue us for that. But our lawyer, we're being advised by a lawyer, and like I said, in the absence of an explanation, which we haven't had, and continued absence, you know.
And the lawyer has reached out to her, so I mean.
The lawyer has reached out to her.
You
And
know.
we've invited her to talk about it, and she's refused. So I mean, kind of a rock and a hard place if you want to say so, but I'd rather err on the side of this legal side than the other legal side. Somebody's gonna come up and say, Skinner, you had 2 legal documents that said she's no longer a resident there. And why didn't you do something? And I wouldn't be able to give them an answer. At least this way, I can say, I did my due diligence. Nothing personal. I understand about her, you know, tough time and all that, but, you know, this is a legal position. And the part that worried me was that if it's deemed that she is not a legal member of this board, that anything that she did could be undone by, you know, somebody, because she's not a legal member. So.
And she had a chance to be here today.
She did.
She was here yesterday and she knew it was coming out.
And, you know, I mean, she's pretty obvious, so.
I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
I agree.
It's a
I
difficult
agree. And
position.
that's
You know.
why I'm very happy to have this conversation because, you know, moving forward, you know, you guys have told me to, you know, to kind of lead this, and I'm happy to do it for the township. But I mean, I consider myself, you know, a friend, but
We all do.
yeah, but at the same time, we have a legal statutory obligation to protect this township's interests in the legal sense, and our lawyer is advising us that we need to, you know, do this. So, and I agree with it. Just having a conversation to me would have been easy.
Right.
To me, the absence of the conversation just further enforces that it's not. If she was a resident, it'd be real easy to just come up and say that, and she hasn't done it, so. I think it's her definition of a residence. Ownership of the property in the house does not constitute residence. We understand that. It just doesn't seem to be understood across the board, so. So I would like to make a motion that we proceed with the lawyer in the legal aspect of taking this to circuit court, so. That's my motion.
I'll support. All in favor? Any
Aye.
further discussion, I should say, on that one? Any additional discussion before we call for a, on this one, we should call for a vote.
Roll call vote?
Mhm.
Okay. Discussions, no?
Any additional discussion?
It's not, these are not the types of decisions that we wanna have to make in our positions.
No, they are not. It's
I
not comfortable
understand
for
that.
any of us.
I just worry about that the legal part of it, that they could come back and wipe out every decision that's been made since
scary.
November.
Mhm.
They could go back that far and say every legal decision is invalid. Every ordinance, everything we've done. So, and I don't wanna try to justify, all that, so. At least
Although
this
she
way we
has
can
not
say
been
we-
here
right.
for the decisions
For
that
most
were
of them, right.
from those ordinances.
And there's been no deciding vote in that, so you might get away with it, but at the same time, I don't wanna be held to that with, at
If
least
we
we can
did
say
nothing.
we have been doing our due diligence, we've been
Mhm.
doing something,
Mhm.
so. Linda,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Bob,
No.
okay, Chuck, yes.
Motion carries. So if you'll communicate that with Russ then.
I will.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you for doing that, and I also want to thank you for the considerable amount of time you've put in lately, because that's been, a lot lately, and I appreciate that.
No problem.
So I want to thank you for that.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, he's been, with the election and all the work he's put in the office lately, it's been, I said yesterday, it's been a heavy lift. So I really do appreciate, and I appreciate the work Heather put in as well yesterday on,
Yeah,
On-
on that fire and all
yeah,
that.
on the
Great
fire
job.
millage,
Thank you.
Good
putting
work.
that information together. So thank you. Thank you very much, Heather. So that is my board comments. So I'm going to keep that short and sweet for me. So, thank you.
I wanna go last on board comments, I got a
Okay.
bunch of.
I don't have anything. This
Okay.
meeting's went on quite a while.
Alright.
I'm missing a baseball game, I don't have any comments.
Alright, good, that makes it easy. Okay, from my board comments, I gotta make sure I do this. I alluded to the fact that I had conversation with Eric about the Stratos Tower. I think we're moving forward on that. We're to the point where I think we're gonna involve the lawyer, and I told Eric that, but only in the sense of they have to do the legal negotiation. Eric and I are working on some other aspects of it, but I'm gonna reach out to, well, I gotta reach out to him anyhow, so I'll probably reach out to Mike and Myers about the negotiation, and I think that's a good thing. We also had a situation yesterday, it was kind of interesting, I'd like to share. Thank you, Heather, for your help. We received a bill for $37.50, and I questioned it. I wasn't sure, I didn't have a vendor code on it, and so I started doing a little research, and I queried Heather, is this familiar? She said no, and we started looking around and doing some stuff, and the $37.50 didn't bother me that much. I mean, if I paid it and we lost it, it'd be bad on my part, but the bank didn't get robbed. But at the bottom, there was a thing that said subscription, total balance was 1,800 and something. And I questioned that. So we called up, and today the lady called me back, and it was somebody we do business with, but we do it through our IT guy. It's a service provided. And I did some research, I have it here somewhere, highlighted in pink, that we had paid the IT guy who had paid the communication company. So the lady called me back and said, Mr. Skenny, you're totally right, we're good. We talked to Lynn, everything's cool, he paid us, you paid him, it's all wonderful, your balance is zero. I said, thank you very much, have a nice day, and we went like this. But it's weird, because I know Linda deals a lot with the senior scams and stuff like that. And I'm new at this, relatively new. I'm still new enough that I question a lot of stuff. And it was one of those things where I was really glad I did, and Heather supported me and, said, yep, that doesn't sound familiar, move forward. And so we did a little research and we found out that it was already taken care of. So that's really, really cool. So sometimes you get a win and it just makes you smile a little bit. I did file the fire millage today. So that'll be on the August election ballot. The language for that, that one went really well. I also turned in the reimbursement paperwork to get over $2,000 back from the election. So that'll be coming back towards us. Oh, and I received a interesting message from the Board of Education saying, yeah, we didn't get the right receipt for your computer for elections. We need a canceled check. And I said, no, I sent you a credit card receipt that said zero balance left. And they said, oh, yep, we got it. So that should be coming back to us as well. So that's another $1,500 back to the fund. So it's been quite a go the last couple weeks, and I'm good. I'm fine, thank you. We got some things going. We've made some improvements in elections. We got some more training coming up for elections. Should be good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm tired.
I did forget about the Maple River, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They had asked us to hold May 12th, and then when I queried them on that, they said, oh, we are not quite ready, so we are not having the Maple River event here on May 12th, this Thursday. So they did ask us, though, anyone having any Maple River photos, particularly from the logging era, they would be very, very interested in that. So please, if you know of anyone who has any photos, let us know. We'd be happy to scan them in for you, and we will share those with the Maple River people. They want to do a website post, and they really, apparently they don't have enough photos, and they want to update everything that they can. So thank you.
Excellent.
Bob?
I have
anything?
nothing.
Hey, Bob.
All right, with that, I think public comments.
I do have one comment. Someone had spoken.
Could you come up here? It's hard to hear.
That's fine. I have no problem.
Okay, thank you.
I do not represent Stratus at all. There was a comment that I was representing them yesterday. No, I was a concerned citizen for that tower. That's all. That's all my comment. So someone is getting the wrong information. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments? All right.
Don't comment. Don't look at me.
All right.
You want to reply.
With that said, we will adjourn the meeting at 7:29.